Hello, so we have come up with the third and the last part of our chapter, and in this part we are going to talk about the next electric device, that is electric bulb. Now the structure of bulb, nowadays we don't use these bulbs because it's been replaced by the CFLs which consume less electricity, but earlier it was been, and this is the first invention that was being done. Okay, so this light bulbs have a very simple structure. At the base they have two metal contact. There are two metallic wires present at the bottom, at the base, which connect the end of an electric circuit. Okay, it's been connected with a wire. Now this metal contacts are attached to two stiff wires which are present inside the glass mount. Glass mount is the outer covering of the bulb, in which and gas is being filled. An inert gas known as argon is being filled inside it. And what is an inert gas? Inert gas is the ones which do not react. It does not react. It does not react like oxygen reacts with anything. Inert gas is the one which is in an inactive stage and does not react with the changes that takes place. So there are two wires, the thin wires, which are present inside the bulb, inside this glass mount, on which a coiled structure is present, which is known as a filament. Now this filament is made up of a metal known as tungsten. Tungsten is one of the metal which is temperature resistant material, and it becomes very hot. Its temperature rises about 2500 degrees Celsius. So the working of the bulb, the tungsten plays a very important role in the working of the bulb. When this filament, which is made up of tungsten, becomes very hot, it emits light. Okay, and when it becomes hot, you might have even observed it sometime. If you try to touch this bulb when it is being lighted up or it's been even switched off, after some time, if you try to hold it barehanded, your fingers will burn. Why? Because the temperature, as I've already told, it's very high for the filament to light up. So this bulb is hooked up to a power supply and an electric current flows through it when it comes in contact with the other wire which is fitted. Okay, and this is how it emits light when we turn on the switch. Our next topic is electric circuit and a switch. What is an electric circuit? It is a closed path in which the current flows. Now we all know that whenever we run any electric devices, the circuit needs to be complete. Okay, what is a circuit? It is a movement of electrons. We have seen that when does an electric current flow? When the electrons move from one end of a wire to the other end where the device is being fitted up, then only the electric current will be complete and the device will start running. Okay, like an example, if we take, there is a battery, and as we have seen that there are two terminals to it, a positive terminal and a negative terminal. In the diagram also you can see that if two wires are being connected, one is being connected from the positive terminal of the cell and the other is connected from the negative terminal. So when this passes and being reached to the bulb, then only the bulb will emit light or it will get turned on. But if some of the wire is being broken down at any particular part, the circuit breaks over there because the electron cannot pass to the other end, and this circuit is known as an incomplete circuit where the bulb will not glow. So circuit is again a path in which the current flows and it's been completed from one end to the other end is known as electric circuit. Okay, and direction of current is always positive terminal to the battery, it is from the positive to the negative terminal. The circuit never runs from the negative terminal to the positive ones. Okay, the next topic is switch. Now switch is a very simple device, okay, which either breaks the circuit or completes it. Yes, now when we turn on the button, when we turn it on, the circuit gets completed and the device starts running. Or the fan, if we take an example of a fan will start moving when it is been on because the circuit gets completed. But when we turn the switch off, the fan will stop as the circuit breaks. So this is only the role of the switch. just to turn it on and off. Okay, that is being shown in the diagram itself, that when the switch is on the bulb glows, and when the switch is off the bulb do not glow. Okay, and the last topic of our chapter is the electric torch. Now, how does this electric torch work? Now again, as we have seen, that dry cell plays a very important role where the chemical energy is converted into electric energy. Now in this torch you can see that there are two cells being fitted. When two or more cells, as I have told, come together, they form a battery. So the same way here also you can see that there are two cells, around 1.5 volt of energy is been present into it. So two cells of the same volt or the same current are being used, and you all can see that the positive end is being connected to the lamp, the lamp from where the light is going to be emitted out. Now this diagram shows you different parts. Many parts are being shown, like a plastic casing is there, the outer covering is been there. There are metal switch which enables us to make it on and off, and this switch has a slide which we just turn on and off when we want to complete the circuit and want to break the circuit. Okay, then there are two cells which are connected in series. Now when two cells are connected one after the other, it's known as series, and if they are connected one below the other, it is being known as parallel connection. So here in the torch you can see that they are placed one behind the other, and therefore it is known as that cells are being connected in series. Okay, then the lamp is being connected or is in contact with the positive end of the cell. When we slide off the button of the torch, the circuit gets completed and the light or the torch gets turned on, or the light is being emitted out from it. And you all can see that there is a glass casing. The structure is same as the electric bulb which we have seen. Filament is present which is made up of tungsten and which gets heated up when the circuit gets completed and emits light out of it. And there is a reflector which is present inside, which reflects the light in all the directions where we place the torch. So this was all about how an electric torch works. Okay, and the last part of our topic is that air which we have around us is also an insulator, but moist air can conduct electricity, and therefore it's been told that we must not touch any electric device with wet hands. Yes or no? Because our body can conduct electricity, and our brain and heart also works on electric impulses. So our brain sends and receives electric messages even when we are asleep. So of course we also have electricity inside us. So yes, so it's been told that whenever we are turning or touching anything, touching any switch, we should not touch it with wet hands. We must always clean it up, wipe it up, and then only touch it, or we must use some things which are being insulators. Okay, we must wear slippers and then touch the electric device. So I hope that's been done. Okay, so we'll again meet back. Thank you.